Hello everybody, welcome to my first YouTube video on this channel. It will be mainly focused on my own journey to achieve financial independence and retire early. However, considering we're approaching the holidays, I figured I might do a video on how to survive Christmas 101 on a budget. So let's get started. First and foremost, have a list of the people that you want to give gifts to. This is very important and I'll go in a bit more detail soon, but you need to know where to start. Next, you need to have a list of the gifts. If you already know these people very well, then it's a bit easier, I suppose. At least for me it was, unless you already think that you've given them everything. But if you know them very well, you can at least go through the list of interests that they have. Maybe they're into fitness, so you might want to focus on that area, but overall it's basically good to have an idea of what you think they might like. If you can start shopping early, then that's the best because you can take advantage of discounts and sales throughout the year. However, that's not a must, but either way, don't get to a point in the holidays where you've got 3 days left and you don't have 50% of your shopping done. If you're in a bind, or if you're on a tight budget, or even if you simply just want to save some money and make your gift a bit more personal, you can make it yourself. And lastly, you have to focus on the finance. So we all know you can spend as much or as little as you want for family and friends, but if you have a budget in place, then at least you have a guideline of what you can afford. So let's start with having a list of people ready. You need to make a list of family, friends, co-worker, acquaintances. You may not want to spend a lot of money for your co-workers and acquaintances, however you think the gesture is important to maintain the relationship, so you can always list the ones that you get along with better, or at least the ones that you want to maintain a relationship with. Second, set a budget for each category. You will not spend as much money for your co-workers and acquaintances as you will for your family and friends. Think about what you know about the people that you've put on your list. Are they into physical activity? Are they into movies, reading, etc.? Tie the gifts that you want to give them to something that you know for a fact they enjoy and not make it random. Then think of what they would like. Have you heard them talk about something in specific in the last couple of weeks, couple of months, etc.? Maybe they've been meaning to join a gym, but they just haven't taken the plunge. Maybe you can give them a gift card to a 1-month trial or 1-week trial. So think a bit outside the box. And if you're really in a bind, or let's say you spent Christmas with your friend who's gotten married recently, maybe you don't know their spouse that well, but obviously your friend is there to advise you. So as you can't show up empty-handed to a Christmas party, make sure to ask their friends, their family, subtly, if they can provide some advice on what to give them. Lastly, think beyond the physical items or stuff. We get stuff all the time. We buy ourselves stuff. We buy stuff to each other, for each other, on our birthdays, etc., on special occasions. Maybe this year an experience would be more valued than just another scarf. Have a list of gifts. So you've completed step 1 in making a list of the people. Now you need to write down what gifts you have in mind for them based on your allocated budget. So if they're family and friends and you've allocated a bit more for those 2 categories, then you need to look at gifts that fall within that budget. So for instance, is your friend a golfer? Maybe he would like or she would like some golf clubs, a golf club membership if you can afford it, or lessons if they're a beginner. Are they into crafts? Perhaps they would like a gift card to their favorite arts and crafts shop, or simply a skill share. Of course, think about it. What about photography? Are they into taking photos? Would they enjoy a new camera? If they're into old school type of photography, maybe they need film or new lens, or simply They have a knack for it, but they never taken the plunge, and maybe you can give them a nudge by buying them a course. And as mentioned before, if you're in a bind, ask for help. But be subtle. If you know that your friend always puts the phone on speaker, don't ask them bluntly what would their wife or husband would like for Christmas. And again, would they really want more stuff? What about experiences? So, personally, at the moment, I'm very much into cooking and experimenting with food. So if someone were to gift me a cooking class, voucher, or Groupon, etc., I would very much appreciate that more than another bottle of perfume, let's say. Start shopping early. Take advantage of the sales throughout the year. Take advantage of Black Friday and Cyber Monday if there are any offers in your area or online. And then think of end of season sales. So maybe your friend is going on holiday to a nice sunny place while the rest of us are stuck somewhere where it's rainy and miserable. But maybe you have an opportunity here where you can buy something for them that will come in handy for their holiday. And lastly, combine items. So what do I mean by that? Let's say that you are thinking of buying your friends 3 different perfumes. You have 3 different friends, so 3 different gifts. Instead of buying them individually, you can at least buy them all together at the same time and qualify for free shipping, or at least you pay shipping just the one time. Making your own gifts says something about you and the other person. It says something about the fact that you've put in the effort and truly thought about what they would like. So let's start with a gift hamper. Maybe you heard them say that they want a spa night or a spa day somewhere at a hotel. Well, if you can't afford that, at least you can give them a spa hamper. So browse the internet, go to your local shops and see what you can find. Make it look nice, make it have a theme, and you can gift that as a very personal and thought through gift. Maybe you can also give them a personalized notebook. I think at this point in time, almost everybody has a printer. You can print something, make a personalized cover for the notebook, and write something really nice. Food gifts. As I said before, I'm currently into cooking. Not that this is a hint to anybody, but this is something that you can definitely think of gifting someone. So let's say maybe they're not into cooking, but they are foodies like I am. I wouldn't say no to a cheese board and a bunch of artisan cheeses. So something like that. Something that is a bit more than just the next DVD, if anyone still buys those. What about a photo album? It says that you thought about this person, that you are truly close to them. If you remember when you were growing up, perhaps you were in school and you took school trips and you took photos. Everyone copied them, printed them in copies. And now we have hundreds and hundreds of photos digitally, but we never browse through them. Occasionally our phones will show us memories, etc. But it's not really the same thing, especially if you have someone in the family who's a bit more old school, maybe your parents, your grandparents, who would really appreciate to go through that. And lastly, as this channel will be mainly focused on finance and anything related in the subject, you have to keep in mind that Christmas can be a very expensive time of the year. That, however, doesn't mean that you have to break the bank. Plan ahead if you can, and that means also to set some money aside so that you don't do Christmas on credit. As Dave Ramsey says, Christmas is not a surprise, it comes every year on the same day. You should be prepared. And set a maximum for each gift category. What do I mean by that? Well, in the first slide of this video, we looked at making a list of the people that you want to give gifts to. You're not going to set the same budget for someone who is, let's say, more on the outside of your circle of friends as you would to your mother. So think about it. Maybe you put a £50 budget for your family, 30 for your friends, Christmas card for your acquaintances and co-workers, and then this way you can at least know what margin of error you have. what if you're spending Christmas away? A lot of the times we think about Christmas as only buying gifts. That's not the case for most of us. We do tend to travel, visit family and friends, and if you live far away from them, that means quite a bit of an expense. So think about whether you need to spend the night or a few nights in a hotel. How are you going to budget or pay for that? How are you going to budget for transportation, not just to and from the place or the city, but also within the city? So if you stay in a hotel and you have to take an Uber 2 or 3 times a day, then that's something that should be factored in. If you have a points credit card, so you accumulate these rewards as and when you use your credit card, this is the time of the year to use those points. Christmas is expensive. All hotels, all Airbnbs will jack up the price. So if you can use those points to lower your costs, then it is well worth it. And maybe you can even add new points to your balance. And of course, if you can book in advance, select cancellation-free options. With COVID, as we've seen in the last 2 years, we've been sent cancellation notices without any warning. We've been given the money back or simply not retrieved any of the money without any notice. You don't want to be in a position where if your Christmas is ruined by COVID, you can't even get the money back. So on that note, thank you for joining me today. I hope you stay calm for Christmas, happy, have some eggnog or whatever you prefer, and stick to the budget. Thank you.